Hey fam, what's good? What's happening? It's your man, Coach Bill William, coming at you. Look, welcome to the Ezekiel walk. We on the downslide. Went to the last 8 chapters, and it's really just starting to get fun. I had about 31 chapters of depressing news. God gonna bang everybody's head in, from Israel through her neighbors, trading partners, and everything else. God had everything, something for everybody, even the conquering crew that He sent. He said, "All right, well, it was too rotten to my people. I'm still going to get you." So we finally get into some of God's promises and His rewards, and His beautiful grace, love, and mercy. And He just really just went to another level when He gave us His Son, Yeshua-Jesus, um, for our grace and our salvation. So yeah, man, welcome, welcome, welcome. You want to get God's word in between your ears, daily. Trust that daily. I've had such a crazy day, and this is my second day. I mean, my schedule got so funky that I didn't get no prayer in 2 days. I read my scripture, but no prayer. And man, I had one of the funkiest days. I've never had this much negative pushback and resistance and just incident after incident after incident. Look, even when I finally got home, got into a shower tonight, the daggone soap rack fell off on me. The hits just won't quit coming. One thing I do know that the victory still came through overall and every time an instance, right? So no harm actually was done, no foul, just inconveniences, man. And so anyway, we want to have a breakthrough on all that and get back to my winning ways, right? So chapter 40, let's talk about a new city, a new temple. In the 25th year of our captivity, at the beginning of the year, on the 10th day of the month, in the 14th year after the city was captured, on the very same day, the hand of the Lord was upon me, and He took me there, and He took me there. Did He do it in the spirit? Or did He actually physically take him there? In the visions of God, He took me into the land of Israel and set me on a very high mountain. On it towards the south was something like the structure of a city. So, okay, in the visions. So He didn't physically take him up there. He took me there, and behold, there was a man whose appearance was like the appearance of bronze. He had a line of flax and a measuring rod in his hand, and he stood in the gateway. A line of flax. What's that? And he stood in the gateway, and the man said to me, "Son of man, look with your eyes and hear with your ears, and fix your mind on everything I show you. For you were brought here so that I might show them to you. Declare to the house of Israel everything you see. Now there was a wall all around the outside of the temple. In the man's hand was a measuring rod, 6 cubits long, each being a cubit and a handbreadth. And he measured the width of the wall structure, 1 rod, and the height, 1 rod." Okay? So he's telling them how to build the temple, rebuild. Let's talk about eastern gateway of the temple. Then he went to the gateway which faced east, and he went up its stairs and measured the threshold of the gateway, which was 1 rod wide, and on the other threshold was 1 rod wide. Each gate chamber was 1 rod long and 1 rod wide. Between the gate chambers was a space of 5 cubits, and the threshold of the gateway by the vestibule of the inside gate was 1 rod. He also measured the vestibule on the inside gate, 1 rod. I always research and look up what a cubit is, and then I forget what a cubit is, but a rod, I have no clue. In the eastern gateway, there were 3 gate chambers on one side and 3 on the other side. The 3 were all the same size. Also, the gate posts were the same size on this side and on that side. He measured the width of the entrance to the gateway, 10 cubits, and the length of the gate, 13 cubits. There was a space in front of the gate chambers, 1 cubit on this side and 1 cubit on the other side. The gate chambers were 6 cubits on this side and 6 cubits on that side. Then he measured the gateway from the roof of one gate chamber to the roof of the other. The width was 25 cubits, as door faces door. He measured the gate post 60 cubits high, and the court all around the gateway extended to the gate post. From the front of the entrance gate to the front of the vestibule and the inner gate was 50 cubits. There were beveled window frames in the gate chambers and then intervening archways on the inside of the gateway all around. And likewise in the vestibule, there were windows all around on the inside, and on each gate post were palm trees. Okay, so it looks like he's really telling us how, the measurements for the temple. We're going to get this temple rebuilt, and this is how it should be. Let's talk about the outer court. Remember the outer court? Then he brought me to the outer court, and there were chambers and a pavement made all around the court. 30 chambers faced the pavement. The pavement was by the side of the gateways, corresponding to the length of the gateways. This was the lower pavement. Then he measured the width from the front of the lower gateway to the front of the inner court exterior, 100 cubits towards the east and north. It's a pretty big joint. Let's talk about the north gateway then. On the outer court was also a gateway facing north, and he measured its length and its width. Its gate chambers, 3 on this side, 3 on that side. Its gate posts and its archways had the same measurements as the first gate. Its length was 50 cubits and its width 25 cubits. Its windows and those on the archways and also on the palm trees, its palm trees had the same measurements as the gateway facing east. It was ascended by 7 steps, and its archway was in the front of it. At a gate of the inner court was opposite. I'm going to keep yawning. It was opposite the north gateway. All right, I don't remember where I got lost. Talk about the gateways of the inner court. Verse 28. Then he brought me to the inner court through the southern gateway. He measured the southern gateway according to these same measurements. Also its gate chambers, its gate posts, and its archways were according to these same measurements. There were windows in it, and its archways all around. It was 50 cubits long and 25 cubits wide. Here's what's interesting. We definitely see that God is serious about his architecture, right? So it's not a random set of numbers, how they built it. It was actual instructions on how to build it and detailed instructions, specific instructions. There were archways all around, 25 cubits long and 5 cubits wide. Its archways faced the outer court. Palm trees were on its gate posts, and going up to it were 8 steps. And he brought me into the inner court facing east, and he measured the gateway according to those same measurements. Also, its gate chambers, its gate posts, and its archways were according to these same measurements. There were windows in it, and its archways all around. It was 50 cubits long and 25 cubits wide. Its archways faced the outer court, and the palm trees were on its gate posts on this side and on that side, and going up to it were 8 steps. Then he brought me to the north gate and measured it according to the same measurements. Also, its gate chambers, its gate posts, and its archways, it had windows all around. Its length was 50 cubits, and its width 25 cubits. Its gate posts faced the outer court. Palm trees were on its gate posts on this side and on that side, and going up to it were 8 steps. All right, well, let's talk about where the sacrifice was prepared. I was just thinking about that. Verse 38, there was a chamber and its entrance by the gatepost of the gateway where they washed the burnt offering. Washed it. In the vestibule of the gateway, there were 2 tables on this side and 2 tables on that side, on which to slay the burnt offering, the sin offering, and the trespass offering. Oh, I never heard of the trespass offering. What's that? At the outer side of the vestibule was one, as one goes up to the entrance of the northern gate were 2 tables, and on the other side of the vestibule of the gateway were 2 tables. Okay, so there's a lot of symmetry here. 4 tables were on this side, 4 tables on that side, and by the side of the gateway, 8 tables on which they were slaughtered. They slaughtered sacrifices. All right. There were also 4 tables of hewn stone for the burnt offering, 1 cubit and a half long, 1 cubit and a half wide, 1 cubit high. On these they laid the instruments with which they slaughtered the burnt offering and the sacrifice. Inside were hooks, a handbreadth wide, fastened all around, and the flesh of the sacrifices was on the tables. Let's talk about chambers for singers and priests. All right, that might be interesting. Outside of the gate were the chambers for the singers in the inner court. Okay? So anybody say that you ain't supposed to sing or praise and worship, then there's so many instances where that's wrong, and here's one right here. So there was actually chambers for the singers. Outside the inner gate were the chambers for the singers in the inner court. One facing south at the side of the northern gateway, and the other facing north at the side of the southern gateway. Then he said to me, this chamber which faces south is for the priests who have charge of the temple. And the chamber which faces north is for the priests who have charge of the altar. These are the sons of Zadok from the sons of Levi who come near the Lord to minister to him. All right, so let's think about that. If these were from the sons of Levi, then by the time Jesus showed up physically on earth, these priests were not running the show. They're being run by the Pharisees. So the question we got to ask is, at what point did God's anointed Levites get supplanted by the Pharisees? And is this why Jesus stayed on them Pharisees all the time? Called them snakes, pits, and vipers all the time. Ask yourself, do the research. Let's talk about dimensions of the inner court and vestibule. As he measured the court 100 cubits long and 100 cubits wide for a square, the altar was in the front of the temple. Then he brought me to the vestibule of the temple and measured the doorpost of the vestibule, 5 cubits on this side, 5 cubits on that side, and the width of the gateway was 3 cubits on this side and 3 cubits on that side. The length of the vestibule was 20 cubits, and the width 11 cubits. By the steps which led up to there was the pillars by the doorpost, one on this side and another on that side. Okay, so that's all about measurements and architecture. Bendiga, Baruch, Shalom, peace.